In case you guys didn't know, Hank, Carl, Beatrice, Alice, Charlotte, and I went and did a show back in November 2022 doing a show called VillainCon. It was one of the very first tours we were ever on besides Beatrice because she didn't wait for us. We had to perform in Canada, Australia, China, Brazil, and Russia, all within 80 days. I really enjoyed the shows. They were very fun and it was the most entertaining thing I'd done in a long time. But this video isn't about the shows, it's about the in-betweens. When we were heading to our motel for the Canada show, and we got out of our bus to check into the Canada show, this is what we saw. Keep in mind the build-up has gotten to this moment. We never knew we were going to VillainCon in the first place. I won the tickets playing poker in an old abandoned castle on a Villain Vice Squad excursion. I'll talk about it in a future video. But anyway, this is what we saw when we checked into the motel on the Canada show. We saw Beatrice smoking a cigarette because she was already there in the first place. But listen, hey, no big deal. I mean, we were all just waiting for the bus to come while we were all just trying to survive and not leave our souls behind. On the first day before any of the shows even started, we arrived in Canada. Canada wasn't really anything out of the ordinary, unless you count that Carl, Alice, and I were super addicted to Blackout Bingo, and were winning all that Big Daddy money. But don't worry, it only took 2 days of peer pressure to get Hank to download it and get addicted with us. After the Canada show, we arrived in Australia. And I speak for everyone when I said this was our completely free day. Carl and Charlotte really wanted to get some pizza. So we headed off to this pizzeria they heard was really good. Everyone had their food and was in heaven, besides me, because I'll take the vegetarian check, please. But it all looked very good. After we ate all our food, Hank and I wanted to go to a card shop for Pokemon cards since a new pack was coming out. So we headed over there. And it wasn't particularly interesting. Soon after we have our food, Carl goes, "So, did anyone else have a rough night last night?" Turns out Carl, Beatrice, and Charlotte all got food poisoning from the pizza. I was safe because I didn't eat any, and the other guys, I guess they're just weird. We were in a good first leg of the tour, and some of us were running out of clean clothes to wear. So instead of finding a laundromat, we just went to a store and bought new ones. After we did that, we saw this huge arcade. It looked pretty swifty, so of course, we went in. Carl and Alice played some DDR. I was playing a claw machine, and everyone knows that those are rigged. Hank played some Tetris. Beatrice played some sort of a racing game. But what caught Charlotte's eyes was a huge motorcycle game thing. There the player gets onto this arcade knockoff of a motorcycle. Charlotte asked the guy at the stand if she could play it, which the guy reminded her that she needed arcade passes to scan. So she did that. She showed the guy, and the guy just walked out of the arcade. But, however, Charlotte got another person to scan her card, and I think this video explains it all.
Come on, I need to get to this asshole. No, god damn it. Son of a bitch. Fuck this motorcycle.
After the Australia show, we had the option to travel by tour bus. There were driver and passenger seats, obviously, a kitchen, one bed where we all slept together, a TV where we all watched Black Widow, and one toilet. However, there was one rule: you couldn't take your massive fat ass shit on the bus. But however, don't get me wrong, you technically could take your massive fat ass shit on the bus, but you would end up destroying it from the inside out. So no taking your massive fat ass shit on the bus. But however though, it was gonna have to be a stretch because since we were gonna have to make stops, or at least that's what some of us thought, Carl, Beatrice, Alice, Hank, and I were all fine. But Charlotte was holding on for dear life here. But however, it's nothing to joke about, maybe because she got the worst case of food poisoning out of all of us, so... When we then got to our China motel through tour bus, I'm reusing old footage, so please be advised, Charlotte went 2 days without a single shit, and she was scared. However, I didn't notice because I was too busy playing poker, which was actually how I won those tickets to VillainCon. But eventually she spoke up for herself, and as the good ex-husband I am, I decided to help with Charlotte pooping. Beatrice shared some poop exercises she said always helped her. I was looking for songs, and I found this video called Music That Makes You Poop, and I think this video explains everything. Yeah, that was a whole can of worms. I'm not explaining what happened. After that whole ordeal, Carl, Hank, Alice, and I went to go and make some money. Beatrice and Charlotte stayed in the bus to build our Pokemon team. But the area we were in was not that great. The hotel toilets had a marijuana in it. Beatrice found a knife and we held it all while getting a bunch of money. That was great because all of us all got hundreds of thousands of dollars at the exact same time. By the time we were done, Beatrice and Charlotte got hungry. Carl, Alice, Hank, and I had Burger Barn, but we also had that this morning, so Charlotte wanted to find something else, which was a mission failed. So she and B went up to go get Burger Barn, but by the time they got there, only the drive-thru was open, and unfortunately, they didn't have the statistics to pass as a car. So they resorted to the only option: call an Uber to go through the drive-thru, and it miraculously worked somehow. Pretty much, all of us had Burger Barn for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah, we were living like kings. Back at the VillainCon Hotel, our agent booked a hotel room for us to shower and finally do laundry. All I needed to do was just freshen up, so I just scrambled to the elevator, and then the manager comes in and just pops out of a secret drawer in his desk where he sleeps or something, and said, "Which room are you going to?" ? No, she actually said that. She actually said a punctuation, which was unnecessary because she was already asking a question. And I said, 304. But then the manager said, you're not the one that booked that room. I've known every single person who's booked in this hotel for 48 years. You're not allowed in there. No visitor policy. What hotel has a no visitor policy? Visitors are their business. Then the manager in the theater started to talk to the manager in the hotel because the manager owned the theater. But what was the annoying part was, we were the ones that were performing in the theater. I must give them some slack. They did say that they could let one more of us in if we paid a fee of like $100,000 or something. I mean, yeah, I did say I won those VillainCon tickets in a poker game, so I should have billions of dollars, but no. All I won was those freaking tickets. I didn't even win any, money or anything. Before each show, we had to do a VIP Q&A thing or whatever. And then after that, we have an hour before, the actual show or something. And during that extra hour or so, there was a $1 million thing in Blackout Bingo, so you knew that we had to do that. And for your information, young kids, if you don't know how much $1 million is, it's pretty much like winning the lottery level. And Hank got $1,000 in cash. Alice didn't need help him at all. Nah. Tour was all very fun. I couldn't have picked a better group of friends to tour with me. The team that helped us was amazing, and you all were doing a great job supporting us, and the shows were all very fun. And I can't believe you all are still supporting me and helping me get to this point. Thank you. Now, before you're all like, man, that sounds like a great show, I'm sure sad I missed it. Well, then you might want to stick around for this end card because we're actually going to do another VillainCon tour. Well, if you're a time traveler, you have a chance to see our last October show, which happened in 2024, so you'll have a chance to go see it. But until scientists invent time travel, that probably won't happen. But however, soon in upcoming of this year, we're going to do twice the amount of tours we did. So if you're nearby one of those places that I'm going to mention in another video, then you better like and subscribe and comment down below if you want to come see it. Then just pre-order tickets. Anyway, I love you all. Stay evil.